Hello, and thank you so much for joining me tonight. The session we're going to be doing, or the theme of this video, is a bit playful. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek a little from my perspective, but it's magic Reiki, or Reiki Magic. And as much as I kind of reserve myself, especially publicly from tying Reiki to magic, because I do feel Reiki is a really beautifully pure practice that can be for the complete novice, in a sense, like the complete purity of just being a channel of healing or energy on behalf of someone else, and just super pure, super uncomplicated, and really lovely in that way. For the nerds, we tend to get a bit to dive deep. We study the chakra points. We study esoteric philosophy or esoteric methods of healing, psychic healing, and kind of bring together a collective, or eclectic version of healing, of serving for our highest purpose as healers, alchemists, guides, spirit guides, earth angels, witches, whatever you want to call it. So the reason I hesitate so much from pairing magic with Reiki is that I don't want to scare people away. I don't want someone to feel like I'm over here doing some kind of spooky spell to do something, and then there's like a fear that kind of comes forward from those places for certain individuals. Many comments that I've seen on my own channel here are gorgeous, but some of them ask if I worship Satan, or tell me I need Jesus, when it's like, I love Jesus. Jesus is my homeboy. Jesus is part of my tribe over here, and I'm not a devil worshiper. Okay, I'm not doing this for personal gain. I'm not doing this to manipulate or hurt anyone. This comes from love and light. Reiki is a connection to love and light. So I feel like I really need to make that clear. Yes, people are going to disagree. Yes, we're going to have our own versions of stuff. But you know what? I'm sharing my perspective. And for those of you who resonate as being more open to the magical side of Reiki, this is for you. Now, I'm not going to go into a huge discussion on this. This is certainly something I share more with my students than, so publicly, because I do have a reverence for the mystery teachings, and there are very many quotations from Thoth or Hermes that suggest we should keep things private and not expose, these sacred things to everyone, because not everyone is ready for it. But if you've stumbled across this video, and if you already know me and you resonate with what I do, I go by Luna Nate. I am a Reiki master teacher working out in New York City, but I have a variety of other fields of interest, including astrology. I work with crystals, candles, intention. I work on the astral plane, and all these other things, shamanic apprenticeship that I'm in. So there's a lot more that peppers me and seasons my the way that I work with energy. So let's just touch on Reiki Magic just very quickly. Any person who, I shouldn't say any, because I don't want to be so broad or so brazen, but most of us who work with energy that I know, including my teachers and other individuals who I highly respect as well, we know Reiki is magic. Like, we've seen it work. I have seen myself in the past be healed by myself in the present. I've seen miracles take place. I'm not talking about walking on water. I'm not talking about anything like ridiculous. But what I would call a personal miracle to transpire from Reiki practice, Reiki study, Reiki, etc. And there's this magical element to it. I define magic as, let's get started with our candle and I'll tell you. I define magic as one's will, using what we have, whether that be visualizations and mantras, or candle meditations, or journeying, or energy work, or crystals, or whatever, to influence or work with the energy of the universe to get from A to B in some way. That might be for spiritual growth. It might be to manifest this like completely beautiful relationship or other experience. I will apologize because I'm pretty sure you can hear in the background some people talking. Blanca and I are both in the office today, so I hope it just adds a real vibe, a real element. I really like this foil peeling. Oh, so satisfying. If you've ever made a cup of tea for someone in hopes that would make them feel better, you're doing magic. If you've ever wished on a candle or something similar, you're doing magic. Some people are afraid of their magic, or they'll have a prophetic dream that they witness come true and they're like, ooh, like overwhelmed by it. I get it, you know? So the magic we're going to be working with here is not just for balancing, relaxation, cleansing, but to help you to be more comfortable with your own personal magic and speak to some of the magical qualities of Reiki. And here I have the remnants of old candles, some crystals, herbs, little bits of incense. I think there's a shell in here. And all to create this nice foundation for our candle that we'll be working with today. If you'd like to use this session to direct in some magical capacity, you can do that as well. I'm going to be burning this rope incense, which I know looks like a joint. I got this from the Alchemist Kitchen in Manhattan. I just have to make a little side note here to thank you guys so much for sharing, if you did, on my last video, which was very hard for me to make. So thank you guys for receiving me and holding me there. I have to mention that there's a expo I'll be at this weekend, Sunday the 16th, and I'm very excited. I'm just hanging out, really helping out. But there's lots of healers and shops and beautiful jewelry and stuff. Candles, lecture, kind of seminar stuff going on throughout the day. It's in Staten Island from 11 to 6 at the Hilton Garden Inn. We do have the retreat coming up in late March, early April. If you want to check that out, it's below. But anyway, forgive me, I don't like doing that either. But I have to. Alright, so we have a sweet little rope incense. And I brought this out specifically, I was inspired because of the unicorn looking shape, right? The twist of two halves making one. Unification, empowerment. Magic is seeing the symbolic significance, symbolic emotional ties, or emotional ties in general, memory ties that we have to items, what they represent, what they mean to us, and how we use that association to direct and create and empower what we would like to achieve. Before you ask, I don't think a lot of you will ask, but some of you might. You can't do magic to make someone love you. You can't do magic on a person to make them love you. And if you try, I wouldn't suggest it. I've done it myself when I was in high school, and it ended terribly. So don't do that. Don't go against people's free will. That's, I think, what gives magic a bad name. Okay. Magic, in my opinion, is best used for personal development, for healing, and that's what I use it for. Or what I see it as. Okay, so I'm just gonna drawing some symbols, balancing symbols. And one of my favorites that represent magic to me. Crazy noises today, guys. I'm so sorry, just bear with me. Alright, so let's pull out some magical stones to share with you. Here's Labradorite. Let me adjust this for you. This beautiful blue flash of the most magical looking stones that I've ever seen. Helping us to see the unseen, to work with the subtle energies. This is not a buzzy stone, this is not a headache stone, this is a soft, watery, subtle stone. Subtle yet transformational. Just gorgeous. Beautiful. Okay, Labradorite. Then we have, this is, what do you call it? Oh, you know what? I have a nicer one. Just brought this in today. So this is Labradorite, as is this. This one is just a little bit, no offense, this one's a bit more textured, more quartz in here. And this piece is more like mica. But I brought this out for the relaxed and comforting connection to source, to spirit, to the energies of the cosmos, in a place that relieves anxiety. I don't want you to feel anxious about working with magic, or just identifying as like magic as being okay. Like there's no reason to be anxious. One of my favorite quotes, which you may have heard me say before, is, "We are not punished for our sins, but by them. So it's our own torments that put us through, quote unquote, hell or something. If I'm eating chocolate, I have the option to enjoy it, savor it. Oh my God, what is this? Almond and toffee. Oh, my favorite chocolate ever has almonds and toffee in it. Or I can eat it and be like, this is bad for me. This is bad for my body. My body's gonna hate me tomorrow. This is gonna break me out. Do you see the difference there? Can you imagine how that might manifest differently in your body? How your subconscious mind is gonna process that if you think it's bad, or if you think it's better, like enjoyable and a treat and, safe. So I'll put both of these Labradorite pieces over here. But how interesting, right? Okay. This is a stone that I wouldn't suggest as your first stone. This is Nuumite. You can see these little golden flecks of labradorescence. And this is a stone of magic. It's so black. And from the void come these flashes of pure golden whatever. Abundance, inspiration, creative energy. Very powerful, very protective. I love Nuumite. And why I say it's not a beginner stone is because it's pretty hardcore. It might show you things. It might take you places. It might help you to ground so effectively that you're kind of like feeling out of sorts from it. Not something you have to worry about through a video, especially paired with, the softness and subtle energies of the Labradorite and the very calming and relaxed, supportive energy as the Lepidolite, but on its own, not particularly for beginners. Alright, and finally, this is a piece of, or a little cluster rather, of rutilated quartz. So it's quite difficult for you to see, but this is a smoky quartz, like a soft smoky. Sorry, my breathing is a little laborious today. And in it, I'm trying to find one to show you, but are these little pieces of golden rutile. Sorry, it's very difficult to see in this light. But I got this from Earthling 360 on Instagram, E360. I love the back, the matrix. And this is a smoky quartz is quite protective, quite grounding, and I love this for bringing into my space when I'm going to be doing a ritual or a candle meditation or anything at all, to hold the field and call in my guides, the angelic energies, the energies of love and light to support and hold the field for us as we do our work. Okay. magic water yet. Here I have just, like, literally just water. It's just what I have in the office today. But I wanted to show you how even, your typical, the things you do on a typical basis can be so empowered by your intention and what you might do for a magical touch to even, drinking your water. So we've talked about this before, the appreciation, the receptivity of drinking water and saying like, oh, this is makes my skin look nice, it keeps me hydrated, my organs love it, it helps me digest, it helps me to build my blood and all of this stuff, that water does for us, right? Brings life. But what else could we do, We could empower it with something we're working towards. So let's say spiritual development, or maybe even astral senses, like clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudience, or I know there's other clairs. So you could, I'll do it over here, just as an example. Put this down and put crystals around it. Maybe put your hand on top, activate the crystals, and charge the water with the crystal energy. Or you could hold it and write a script. I am spiritually developing more and more with every sip. Like you can do a lot with magic, even with your simple little daily water intake. Alright, so here's another example of some magical stuff. This is an oil that Blanca made for me. I kind of spilled the oil on the label, so you can't read it. It smells heavenly, like rose is the first smell I get. But researching what certain herbs do and making yourself a little vial. Such as this. Can be a very powerful tool for you to use for your day, not only just for the qualities of the herbs and oils, or the plant medicine, but also for the intention. I have a very magical potion that I've made. It just has a lot of just like different stuff in it, really. And I just love it for adding it to anointing candles or using in my own work and journeying and meditation. But sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a sec. But essentially what I'm trying to say is there's just so many little magical things, but I want to incorporate how we're bringing Reiki into this specifically, because while yes, it's quite helpful to be Reiki attuned to work with Reiki energy, you certainly don't need it to work with Reiki energy. You have already this channel within you, and you can hold something in your hand and charge it with energy. You can even put your own energy into it, which is what most people do end up doing, and that's part of Reiki training in general, is to learn to be a channel and not giving our own energy constantly to things. However, something like an oil or your water, that's very safe for you to give your own energy to, as opposed to those of us who are, let's say, empathetic and give too much of our own energy, where we become drained or burdened or weighed down in some way. Actually, I'm going to use this anyway. So I'm just gonna put this on my finger. I'm just gonna anoint you by proxy. Okay, so we have some oil here. I'm going to put it on all the chakra points. This holds the frequency of love, of compassion, and beauty. Just to magically send this into you a little more, if you're open to it, of course. So through your crown, your third eye, throat, just going down your throat here, from here, like your lymph to your collarbone clavicle. Your heart, which really loves this blend. Solar plexus, to act from your magical place. Your sacral, to tap into those emotions for the sake of magic, creating, of magnetizing what you want to you. And for those of you who are mad at me for telling you you can't do magic to make someone love you, you shouldn't want to. You should do magic to find and align with the most perfect individual who loves you so much, who is perfect for you, and loves you so much. Not forcing someone else to. We don't need tunnel vision, so let's go back to erase that tunnel vision. Expand what you're able to come up with. Okay, and the root for your movement, your channeling of your wants and desires through this magical portal, we could say, to move physical matter, to make things happen on the physical plane. Okay, I'm just gonna wipe off the excess on my sweater because it smells so good anyway. And it makes my hands kind of sticky. I want to pull a card for you, the collective, to assist with your connecting to your magical self, or give you some guidance, or even one word that helps you connect, potentially release fear surrounding this. Don't be put off by your calling to this kind of stuff. If it speaks to you, there's a lesson there. And I'm not trying to push this on people. I don't mean that at all. Please don't think that. It's more of releasing fear, because fear is the enemy. Magic is not. Reiki is not. So I'm just putting in some intention to provide the best guidance, message, insight, suggestion. Just gonna do one shuffle, like a regular card deck. So I'm sorry I have to do this out of view. There we go. Just really felt like I needed to break them up more. Here we go. Oh my god, I love this so much. I'm such a nerd. Nerding out on this card. Okay. Wild woman. This is it, guys. This makes so much sense to me right away. So we have this beautiful woman, this heart connection, this trees coming out of her hair. She is earthly, she is dancing, she is fiery and transmutational. Gorgeous. I love this so much. And what this says to me is the message is that there is this wild woman of magic, like not for only women. I don't mean that, and I don't mean that magic isn't necessarily have its masculine qualities, energetically speaking, but we have been, forgive me, I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this, but we have been robbed of our connection to the Earth Mother, to magic, to earthly based practices, to witchy practices, or indigenous practices, or shamanic practices. Not to say those don't exist, of course they do. You can never destroy something like that. But we've been robbed of that connection by, whoever declared that Eve was some bitch who got everybody kicked out of the garden. Like, who wrote that story? Or the missionaries converting indigenous tribes to Christianity by essentially murdering them until they succumb to it, if you could put it that way. Of course, I'm not a historian here. This is general, please take it that with it, but connect, the message here, connect to the wild woman in your magic practice. Connect to the earth, the fire, the elements, the growth. That's the heater going on and off because it's quite cold in my office. Connect to the Divine Mother, the source energy of feminine energy, which is on the more intuitive, rhythmic, transformative, creative component. The Cosmic Father and Cosmic Mother are both magical. God is magical, if you want to look at it that way. Is he a judgmental man in the sky? No, he's not. He is divine love and support, and of the most beautiful fatherly traits, we could say. And is the mother weepy or subdued or submissive? No. She is fire. She is alive. She is like passion. And we've kind of twisted it around, or we've let it get twisted around, where there's just this like dude in the sky judging us, but there's so much more to the energetic fields. And those, typically women, or let me say that differently, I didn't mean that. Typically those who radiate more femininely will in some ways have less fear about this connection. That's not every woman, and that's not every man. That's not, I'm not trying to be, I'm being so general, so please take that with a grain of salt. But there's something here of the feminine nature that we need to connect with and to become wild with, or embrace that wild kind of energy. A book I'm trying to recommend, which I have not read, I'm kind of embarrassed I haven't read it yet, but I believe it's called Women Who Run with the Wolves, and I've heard the most amazing things about this book. In fact, I'm going to add it to my Amazon cart today. But there's something there for you guys. I'm sorry I'm not articulating it quite well. It's just embracing it. Like, it's not scary. It's only been scary because that's what you were taught, or we were taught. Oh, magic. That means devils. That means ghosts. That means bad things. You only get bad things if you're doing bad things. It doesn't work that way. You only attract negative stuff into your person, even if you are pure, let's say, and good, because there's a what do you call it, hindrance, lull, weakness in your own energy field, which is not having a proper boundary. We don't attract negative stuff. We declare what we're trying to work with here, and declaration is how we work in the light, So just to keep that in mind. Sorry that wasn't super clear for you guys. Alright, so I feel like I should mention that this whole video is part of the session. We're going to move to the more Reiki-based part. Setting an intention to release fear revolving around magic or witchy stuff or astrology or any of the subtle esoteric arts and philosophies. To unify them with logic, with planning, with discipline. To honor the fire of this feminine energy, this more connected to the earth plane, more emotional, more desiring, more passionate energy. The high cosmic energy has everything already. It's here that we experience. It's here that we're learning to create. And that's where just having a will comes into play. And if magical stuff and Reiki and symbols and symbolic representations and tarot and all the stuff speaks to you, there is a calling there. And I think that you'll probably find there have been ways that your subconscious has tried to communicate with you, perhaps through prophetic dreams or synchronicities, that it's available, that it's at the gates, hello, call me in, use me over here, I wanna work with you, I want to do something. So keep in mind for that. Of course, this is always with respect and honoring of your personal boundaries. So if you'd like to use this just for relaxation, of course, that's gorgeous. But I'm calling this energy, directing it into my hands, like this nexus of unified forces to awaken your magical potential, to release any anxiety or fear associated with magic or the more esoteric, to activate your limitless vision, to get out of the tunnel vision, to focus more broadly on your experience of what you would like to experience, and not get tunnel vision this person's the only one that's going to make me happy, or else it doesn't work that way. That doesn't work. There might be a lesson there, and the lesson is you have to let them go, so just keep that in mind. Don't get sad. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And calling in all the elements, the corners, north, south, west, and east. Calling in all the crystalline energies in this space, and there are many. The properties of different the frequencies of all the different properties and colors and rays of light to beam through you, through this session by proxy, to touch and sparkle and activate different mirrors or fragments of your soul, of your purpose, of your desires, of your potential, for your spiritual development, for your emotional and physical development, for your ability to manifest with love and care and honor and respect, for your reverence for the divine laws of the universe. Right. Just going to kind of beam this to you at first, over your head. I'm seeing a lot of violet, which I know behind me is a lot of violet, but it's like a beam of violet flowing down through you and spreading out through your light column. So to beam and then out, touching on all the cells, all the hidden stuff in the back of the mind, all your past lives, to bring in that knowledge and understanding if it serves you. Spread it out, trickling through, down your arms, all to your fingertips. Going down still, like a channel, down your back, down your spine. Through you, through your torso, down your legs, swirling up and around you, out your hair, out your breath. Everything you speak is magic, whether you already knew that or not. What are you creating? What are you manifesting? Does it serve you? So let's focus on the third eye and empower this place with what serves you. Right. I'm gonna go around you, kind of massaging your outer layer of your aura to awaken different properties and qualities within your magical essence. So it's like I feel like I'm putting it and holding it, rubbing the outer layer. You can almost see like this sacred geometry in the layer of this. Like an exoskeleton membrane. The back. Right. I hope you're feeling relaxed and comfortable and empowered and ready to make some magic in your life. Thank you so much to those supporting me on Patreon to help me create these videos. I'm so honored to have your support. Thank you. And tingles. Many of you have made contributions and I appreciate it so much. Thank you again. You're helping me to create these videos and I'm incredibly grateful. And those of you who have become my clients or work with me for your Reiki attunements and all that stuff, the connections are so gorgeous and I'm just so honored to be a part of this. So thank you for allowing me to play my part. From the bottom of my heart, as always, namaste.